So today we decided to go to the RAF Museum in Hendon, in London. This museum basically contains loads of different planes used by the Royal Air Force. There are 3 main buildings with 6 different sections of different planes. This is basically a museum of planes used throughout different eras of history in Britain. This place is perfect to visit for anyone who enjoys learning about machines and how they were made and what they were used for. The museum provides a unique experience where you can get up close and personal with the planes and even sit inside the cockpit if you want. Unfortunately, due to coronavirus, we weren't able to do that this time. The museum combines history with design and innovation to provide a unique learning experience, making this the perfect place to visit for school trips or taking your children. There are plenty of plaques and information cards to read, so you'll know what you're looking at, and you can learn more about the planes and why they were used during certain wars and what special features they had. The museum does not only have planes, it also contains machines used in World War I and II, like tanks and cars, as well as missiles and weapons used and fired from the planes. The museum also contains planes from different countries such as Germany and France. The British used planes from Germany during World War II to modify their own planes to help them in the war effort. You can also see ambulances, jeeps, tanks as well. After visiting the museum, you begin to appreciate how difficult it must have been to fly these massive planes during a war. Especially with boys as young as 16, flying planes in the middle of a world war without enough adequate training compared to today's day and age, where pilot training requires years and years of practice and a lot of safety drills that they did not have 100 years ago. You also begin to appreciate the evolution of technology and aircraft over the past 100 years, from planes that were made out of wood and that could only carry 1 or 2 people, to commercial Airbuses that can carry over 500 people. The world has come so far. The museum also has a 4D theatre where you can experience what it was like to ride with the RAF Red Bullets in 4D. This boat has been restored with parts of an aeroplane to give it one of the most unique designs I've ever seen. The museum has mannequins modelling pilot outfits, as well as the hangar used to capture the Falkland Islands back in the 1980s. This is one of the oldest aeroplanes in the museum. Its appearance demonstrates the amount of trust the oldest aeroplane pioneers had within themselves and the machine, and it's due to inventions such as these that we're able to fly across the globe so freely. The museum also has an engine display every few hours. It allows you to experience how loud engines used to be in the past. I recommend standing behind the engine in order to feel the full pressure and force of the wind and the propeller. The museum also contains old artifacts, such as these cameras. This statue was erected to commemorate prisoners of war from the RAF, Allied Forces and the Commonwealth. This model represents all the different jobs that go into making planes. Not just pilots, but technicians, painters, etc. The gift shop is located at the entrance of the museum, which is also the exit. This is where you can buy any souvenirs in order to remember your experience at the museum. This exhibit displays the invention of pilot ejection seats. This is a wreckage of a plane that was destroyed by a fire. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.